What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to Game Talk. This is going to be your episode number 6. Hopefully, we've been bringing you guys some value when it comes to the conversation. We're trying to make you guys better, you know what I'm saying? Mentally, physically, just maybe giving you some experiences we've been through. That way, you don't have to go through them and you could just take that knowledge and run with it. So, how you doing this week? How you doing today, Mighty?
I'm doing pretty good, fam. I feel like this helps me prepare for the week. I feel like this helps me gather my thoughts and my interests and put them all in one place.
So this is like this starts up your whole week.
Yeah, I feel like
this is like
yeah,
a refresher for you.
right.
Because that's cool you say that because the pod for me seems more like
A cap.
this is that little climax in the middle of the week. You know what I'm saying? So like when things start to get boring through the week, then we get to like come in here
Peak
and
time.
just make something happen, and then we do the editing, blah blah blah, right? So it just creates another set of highs for the week.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But that's cool that you said that it brings. This is like the start of your week. This is your Monday, and that's cool. If I had a Monday like that, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like this is like, I don't know, I feel like this is a release and now I get to kind of just restart over again. So this feels more like a feel good Monday. You know what I mean?
Right. Speaking of Mondays, my Mondays have been pretty interesting because I release music on Mondays.
Yeah.
Yo, let me dig into that. Give me like 30 seconds. All right, let me dig into that real quick. We didn't do a wrapped up Monday this last Monday because the whole thing just got wrapped up. Here's some top information from the Bliss headquarters. We just wrapped up a little project. Everything you've been hearing has been samples. Now we're going to sit down, master the project, give it to you guys nice, crispy, clean radio quality with
Ready
maybe
to go.
some features thrown up in there. Videos. We're about to make this like you just seen the rough draft. Now you're about to see the final draft.
I'm very excited to show everybody that.
So-
It'll be really cool to see everybody's feedback from it too. You know what I mean? Because they've only gotten bits and pieces of it, and now they're gonna get the full story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I was sitting down and listening to a lot of what's gonna be on that project earlier, and I was just vibing with it. I was like, yo, this is just cool. Like, my other music in the albums, that's like, okay, that's like the poster stuff. That's like, okay, this is a radio song.
Right.
Here's more this is Bliss's life story going on, but like this is just like more of boppers. Like this is like, let me light up a joint and smoke and get, you know what I'm saying?
Chilling in the moment.
Like it's just cool. It's like, this is that tier of music that's just dope, vibey. If you want to say from the streets, you can say from the streets a little bit. This is like where I'm gonna connect with the culture. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you'll be able to connect with Arizona pretty well too.
Yeah,
It's
representing Arizona.
A lot of Arizona vibes.
All my content is being pushed straight to you guys, Arizona. I promise. This shit ain't going to Cali. This shit ain't going New Mexico, Nevada. Nah, I'm targeting all this to Arizona. We repping Arizona. We doing this gang music stuff for the streets of Arizona.
Let's go, baby. That's pretty exciting, to be honest. Like, if I was just another person kind of like really interested in just listening to Arizona artists, like it would just be really cool to listen to this as another Arizona project.
Yo, it's cool how this happened. It just happened this way. I just started with a plan. Like, man, I just got to do some content. Let me just do a freestyle every week. Freestyle turned into writing. Writing turned into recording and mixing. That turned into doing the videos, editing videos. That turned into a weekly grind. Now it's turning into, now all that is being capsuled up into a seed, and now that seed's gonna bloom into its own project, and it's gonna look so cool. Can't wait to show you guys more.
It's gonna look like a bonsai tree.
Brat. Coming at you straight from Arizona. Don't forget, I'm doing this shit for Arizona. Arizona, Big Zaddy Bliss. We repping it. We're gonna put Arizona on the map. Let's make it happen, baby.
It's happening.
So okay, that was supposed to be 30 seconds. That did turn into a couple minutes, but like, what's going on with you, Mighty?
Oh man.
You said you wanted to talk about today or something. What's going on today?
So I just wanted to talk about a crazy event today, right? So
Okay.
I'm walking out of Feel Good, right, my nutrition spot, and all of a sudden I kind of see somebody in the distance, and they're just kind of staring at me. I'm like, okay, like, hey, how's it going? Like,
They
you know what I
like
mean?
mean mugging you, or they kind of like
I'm trying to
interested
figure that
in
out.
seeing you, or what? Okay.
Yeah, I'm walking and I'm trying to figure that out. So like the closer I get, I'm like talking to my coworker, and all of a sudden I hear like this weird noise kind of from a distance from where that person was. And all of a sudden, all I hear, and I look up and I see him, and he's going, bah, 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 bah. And I'm like,
sound effects, right? Not actual gun.
no, yeah. So he's got his finger out like he has a gun, and he's just wetting me up, bro. Like,
And
bro.
are you in your uniform for work?
Yeah, I'm in my uniform
Okay,
for
so
work.
we can see what's going on here.
Yeah, so he can see what's going on, and so he's literally just like looking at me. He's probably like 20 yards away at this point. I'm walking towards where I gotta get to.
You're walking towards him?
Yeah, because he's in the pathway for me to get to where I gotta go, right? So I'm getting closer and closer, and all of a sudden I think this guy's playing. You know what I mean? And so I pull my hands up too, and I'm like, all right, wet t-shirt contest, mother. You know what I mean? So I was like, bang, 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 bang. And all of a sudden I see that he's serious. And this guy is mad. Like, this guy is so mad. And like my coworker, he looks at me, he just starts laughing.
Who, Joseph?
Yeah, Joseph. He just looks at me, he starts laughing. And he goes, what the heck, bro? You know that guy? And I was like, bro, I've never seen that guy a day in my life.
So you knew it was serious at this point, or you were still joking around with the guy?
Oh, yeah.
So it was serious?
Yeah, for him it was serious. For me, it's like another day. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I get closer and closer, and so he gets up in my face, and he goes like, ooh, I want to beat your ass, motherfucker. And I'm like, whoa, dude, like, fucking run it.
When the devil attacks.
Yeah. No, for real. Misery loves company. So I live by that, by the way. And so he goes, I'm going to beat your ass, motherfucker. And I was just all like, whoa, run it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm on break right now. You know what I mean?
I'm not on the clock.
Yeah, I was like, I'm on break right now. This is what I do. And so he gets a little closer to me. So I'm just staring at him, you know what I mean? Whatever. And sizing him up. And so he gets a little closer to me, and he starts doing the little whap, 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 whap. And I said, wow, I'll wet you up too. You know what I mean? Like, we're just doing finger guns. Dude, it was just, for me to do that, that was funny. Like, that was
if
a
I
really
was
funny
Joseph, I would have been
time.
like, what is going on right now?
Dude, the whole
this
time.
This guy looks really mad, and Zay is over here like,
and see, that's what I was trying to get to, was like, there's going to be bumps and turns in life, but you can't let those little things affect you. Like, I could have let that affect my entire day and just been like, yeah, that guy pissed me off.
So you found out he was serious, and then it was like, whoa, like, chill, or what?
No, oh yeah, I was pushing that situation. I was like, yeah, you're not gonna run up on me and, you know what I mean, thinking you just finna get off lightly. But I was playing with him the entire time too. I wasn't just being like a dickhead or whatever. But it was just funny to me, the fact that lately it seems like a lot of things have been trying to disrupt my energy, but it's been really cool because I've been able to notice what's going on and kind of bounce it off and just be like, oh, just live in my zone, live in my lane, and kind of, you know what I mean, just keep my energy secure. You know what I mean? So it was just cool that, like, I was able to be in the moment, realize in the moment, and then act in the moment of something trying to disrupt me in my day.
Mm-hmm.
My
so
energy.
where were you headed right there anyway? Light rail?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then he didn't get on light rail.
No. Yeah, he was just off doing his thing. It was like some weird.
So it was just a moment that happened, and then you ended up leaving.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly.
I didn't know if you ended up getting in some sort of altercation with the guy.
No.
So why, baby? Why did this guy have negative energy? Did he have something against maybe where you work?
Definitely where I worked, but I've never seen this guy a day in my life. I've never seen this guy before. Never. Never.
So
I couldn't even describe what he looks like now.
Would I be correct to say that he was judging a book by its cover?
100%.
Wow.
100%. But it just so happened to be me that he was messing with. You know what I mean? And I got a lot of good things going on right now. Like, I just got another promotion for my coaching. I became a senior consultant. So now, you know what I mean, I'm getting more clients under my belt. I'm starting to help people kind of get to where they need to be or where they want to be, whatever. But besides that, I have a fight coming up, you know, on the 17th.
On the 17th.
So, you know, me, when I get closer to my fights, I'm a little more zoned out. You know what I mean?
Well, you're just more zoned in on what you think you need to be zoned in on.
Right.
So then there's other things that are going on that you're just zoned out.
Like, so, in a way, but it's...
I just feel like that was a negative thing, because the positive is you're actually focusing in on what needs to be focused.
Right. Well, my negative thing for my fights is I like at the end of the day, I don't like hate to admit it, whatever. I'm a nice guy. You know what I mean? I like to just be chill, cool, fun, relaxing, having a good time all the time. You know what I mean? So the fact that like whenever I come closer to a fight, I have to switch my mindset into kind of becoming somebody that's in like I have to let my dog shine. And when my
Yeah.
dog is out, that's whenever he gets a little bit more aggressive, shows teeth, you know what I
Is it
mean?
kind of like when I get close to releasing an album or something? Then it's kind of like I get in a weird spot of where like I don't know how to react right now. Like I don't know whether I should be excited, not excited. Like are these people excited? I don't know. I don't want to set expectation, and you know what I'm saying? Or
For
like,
me, it's not really questions I ask myself. It's a state of mind I have to put myself in. As in,
so you don't want to disrupt that mojo,
yeah, in a way,
or what?
so I have to put myself in a certain energy so I can keep that energy. So when it's like a build up. It's like I put myself in a build up situation and a tension situation on a daily basis so I can flick that switch as soon as I hear that bell or as soon as I step in that ring.
Yeah, because like me, what I was just talking about, the album stuff, I tend to like numb myself out from all emotion because anything and everything could like confuse me. You know what I'm saying?
No, see, this
And
is
like
when I have to become like hypersensitive to
right.
emotion.
So you're not numbing yourself.
Right.
You're
I'm expressing and feeling a lot more than I typically would.
okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm opening myself more to energy.
Right.
So I'm more susceptible to catching more energy. But if I stay focused on my goal of where I'm trying to get to, that's when I'm able to refine myself and kind of be that person I need to be in that moment. You know what I mean? So I'm always making sure I don't stay too negative or I don't stay too positive. If I go too negative, it could disrupt my training. And if I stay too positive, it could disrupt my mental for the fight. Because I don't, at the end of the day, I don't like hurting people. I really don't. But so, I mean, you could tell from my last fight, I caught him with a beautiful 3-piece combo. 2 to the body, 1 to the face, and the second I knew I connected that face one, I kind of looked at him and I was like, "Yo, you good? Like, yo, you good?" And I backed up. And I remember hearing my coach, dude. He was screaming, but I like
go.
Yeah, like so. Oh, you didn't see Creed 3? I was gonna say they have a scene in Creed 3 to where. Do you mind if I talk about it?
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So there's a scene in Creed 3 for the main fight where there's 2 guys, the 2 main fighters, Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors, they're fighting, and in the moment of the fight, all the crowd and everybody disappears. They're in this huge arena, and the ring is in the middle of the arena, and then everybody disappears, and it's only them in the whole stadium. It's only them in the ring, and everything else is black. You know what I mean? But you can still see there's obviously something in the backdrop. There's somewhere with the ring being there, right? And everything's shut out. There's no noise. It sounds like 2 people in a gym just going at it. And there's only them in the gym after hours.
No crowd.
No nothing.
No noise from the crowd.
Nothing.
It's just all zoned out.
It's just
and then zoned into
me,
to
you,
the ring.
in between the ropes. Let's go. And in a fight that they like, bro, that's exactly how it is. Like, I was so impressed when I saw that scene.
Yeah, you mentioned that they really did a great job depicting that moment in a fight, right?
Yeah. Because that's how it feels in the entire fight. The second you get in between those ropes and you look around, you hear that ring, and you get that first punch in, it's like everything just shuts out.
Yeah, I can't relate to that, but I mean, back when we went to church, we went to the middle school church. We did a lot of activities. We would go places, trampoline places, play sports, whatever. There was a time where one of these nights we did a boxing night, and they gave us these big ass gloves. I don't know if you've ever seen them, dude.
Or like the Hulk hands.
They're just huge, and I can't relate specifically to that moment that you're talking about, but I could relate it a little bit.
That's different. That's like fun. This is like
because everybody was yelling and all this shit, and I remember just being up in there, just like hitting people, and whatever everybody else was saying just didn't matter. It was just like I'm right here. I know it's.
You're the only thing that matters in that moment. So it's like whatever you focus on is going to be just yourself in a way, yourself and whoever is across from you. You know what I mean? That you're
so I can only imagine that moment times 100.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're in that moment. That's like spotlight. You got paying customers going to see the fight. You got other fighters there. You got coaches. You know what I'm saying? Lights are on you. DJ's over here. You got the host. You got, you know what I'm saying? You just got everything going on.
Yeah.
And it's just you in the ring.
Right. So yeah, with that, you know what I mean. It was just really cool that when I was watching that movie and I saw that scene, I was really able to be impacted by it, and that kind of put me in a perspective of like, okay, I do need to protect my energy a little bit more, and I do need to focus it a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because back then in my fights, I kind of would go in there a little bit where my thoughts were wild. You know what I mean? And I wasn't able to kind of refine myself into being a spear.
Mm-hmm.
So
So did you used to hear the crowd and everything before?
kind of, it would be subconscious, but I would be aware.
Right.
Kind of, like there'd be certain screams or certain tones or certain things that you would hear throughout the ring. Sometimes you can hear your coach, and sometimes you can't. So what you're doing in the ring, your coach is gonna be, hey, this is what you need to do because this opens up, or hey, don't do this anymore because you're
Like
opening
in
up on
between
this.
rounds?
In between
Like when
rounds,
he's talking to you?
or during the round.
Mm-hmm.
So during the round, that's whenever they're trying to communicate most with you because you're in the moment. So they're like, hey, if you're able to do this in the moment, act on it, right? But it was just funny though that guy came up to me and he tried to disrupt my. I don't know. It was like a sign from the universe for me, and that's the way I kind of saw it. And
To what, like it was a moment to prepare you, or
no,
what?
it was a test. The universe always throws tests, and you have to be ready for that test at any given point.
Mm-hmm.
If you allow that thing to kind of get a hold of you and take control of you, like I said, misery loves company. So what it's gonna do is tear you down, break you down, and knock you off your goals. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
could have, and it's just the fact that like I really could have let this guy bother me. I really could have just been mad at the situation, or because he was kind of going off in my face a little bit, but at the same time, like I was making light of it. I was just being funny with it, and but yeah, so now I feel like I'm doing a really good job at controlling my energy and, like I said, refining myself into becoming my internal fighter
Mm-hmm.
externally, not just internally.
Right. Do you think everybody has to control their energy like that? Or
I
do you think
feel-
it's easier for some people, harder for some other people? You know what I mean?
I would have to say it would differentiate for sure. I feel like there's other people that are able to kind of flick that switch right away and then just turn it on.
And in the fighting world, is that the difference between a goat and then just an amateur?
Well, the thing about a goat is they're never truly affected. They're in a situation and they always come out on top.
Mm-hmm.
They find a way to always come out on top. Whether they're down, whether they're up, if they're up, they're gonna stay up there. If they're down, they're gonna find a way to climb that hill and be the better person. You know what I mean?
So how close do you think you are from being there?
I definitely have a lot of work to do.
Is that something you can attain?
Yeah, I can see it.
So it's a talent or no, it's a skill that you can work on and get better at.
It's a talent. It's so thankfully for me, I've been always able to kind of take myself out of a situation and kind of when the moment is like shining on me, I'm able to kind of perform.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's football, sports, whether I'm
Yeah, you've always done really well in that heat of the moment.
the spotlight. We'll call it that, the spotlight, right? I would have to think, you know what I mean, because I'm a Leo, so you know me. We gotta do. Not just playing, but So yeah, in the spotlight. So now with certain things, I'm able to kind of flick that switch on better. So like whenever we play football and it would be a fourth down situation and they were like 3 yards away and I knew that the guy was gonna either come to me or I would have to go get that quarterback. I'm really good at doing what I need to do when I have to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So with this fight coming up, or with any fight that I have, the second that I feel like now I'm able to kind of like adjust who I need to be and flip that switch a lot better now than I was back then.
Mm-hmm.
Because back
So
then,
it is a switch, though.
it is a switch you
So
do have
you're
to flick.
extremely positive that you have to flip a switch. That's not just some sort of manifestation of an idea.
Well, that just
created.
separates a dog
You know
from
what I
like a fighter. You know what I mean? Are you just a typical fighter that's just in there to kind of find out what's really going on, or are you a dog that's really chasing something?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this really your goal, or is this something that you're kind of interested in? You know what I mean?
Right.
And you're able to tell that.
So everybody's got that switch that they can flip.
Yeah, I feel like everybody has a switch, but with a certain lane. You just have to, because there's 7 billion people in the world, so there's 7 billion perspectives and 7 billion universes. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
All blowing off different chemicals at the same time in your brain.
yeah. So like they have to find what their switch in their lane is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like for you in the music, as soon as you come in here, you kind of just, and then you flick that switch and you become Bliss. outside of this room or outside of music, you're branded.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So in your perspective lane, flipping that switch, you turn to bliss.
Right. Yeah, no offense, but I don't think I ever have to flick a switch. So that's why I was asking you about it, because I'm not sure
Okay, well,
what that is.
Well, look, say it this way. So you know how like whenever we're doing the music videos, and you're kind of just like walking, and then when you're getting ready for a music video, you kind of just you take a second.
So you saying like when I get into character or whatever?
Exactly. That's flipping a switch. It's just getting into that role.
Well, so from my understanding of it, more of the way I can describe that is like flip. It's just like kind of bringing out the riz. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
bringing out that swagger.
So I wouldn't say necessarily I flip a switch and then I'm suddenly bliss. You know what I'm saying? I feel like.
Do you feel like you need to work on that, or do you feel like you feel pretty good, like confident? Do you think you can?
I think it's just confidence a little bit. Because I could do that anytime. Like I could go, like if a song came on right now, I could just start. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I could definitely work on my performing. But is that what it is? Like performing? When I flip that switch on, am I just getting into the performing, or
flipping a switch would just be presenting the energy that's perfect for the moment, so you can thrive in that moment. You know what I mean? So for me in my fights, you know, I have to become more violent than I am mentally. So that kind of changes how I move throughout my day on each. Between the first 2 weeks of like when I have to fight,
right,
I have to move different.
So I do know that there's a time when you have to be presenting the work, and then there's a time when you're working on the work. So maybe that's that switch that needs to get flipped from producer to artist.
Right, that makes sense.
Maybe something like that, because that's the real big transition I go through when I go from engineer making the music to now I gotta show it and perform it. Right. So that's the big jump for me. You know what I mean?
That's nice, yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of as I think that switch stuff has a lot to do with fighting though, in particular. Maybe physical sports. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've seen people like on, let's just say they flick a switch and they go on a phone call, and then they kill that phone call with how they word things or how they're expending their energy throughout the phone call to get what they need. You know what I mean?
And if they didn't flip a switch, they wouldn't have a good phone call?
Yeah, so let's just say if like I've been in rooms where this person it was me and this person needed to make a business call, but I was in the room and they were like, nah bro, just stay. And I was like, all right, cool. And the second, like I noticed their energy from the second we kind of met up to whenever he saw the phone ring, and then he kind of looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, oh, it's a business call, and he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, bet. And then you could just tell like he just kind of sat up a little bit more.
Think about Ray right now.
I'm dead.
Ray.
He just sat up a little bit more, and he just like, it was like he embodied who he needed to be in that moment.
I think I'm understanding what you're saying. Okay, so you're flipping the switch. What you're saying basically is game mode. You're in game on.
It's flipping the switch.
Like it's game time.
Let's go.
Is that what you mean?
Let's go.
Okay. All right, that makes sense then. I can see that. So yeah, game time. I could definitely flip the switch into game time. I'm not trying to sound cocky about it, but I feel like I could flip that switch whenever I want.
Well, that's what separates a pro from an amateur. An amateur needs work to flip that switch on.
And I'm not seeing the value of it because I could do it.
You're way too cocky, bro. Hold on. No, I'm just playing.
You're talking about just videos, or are you talking about when I come in here and record music, or you know what I'm saying? Like what exactly is when
you're either Brandon, your dad, you're an artist. You're an engineer, right? You have to flick those switches to make sure you're the best of what you need to be in those moments. It's not like something you have to prep talk yourself into and be like, oh, I gotta be dad right now, or oh, I gotta be Brandon right now, or oh, I gotta be Bliss right now. You know what I mean? Like that's what separates somebody who truly values what they do and then want to be the best at what they do.
Whatever mode you're in. Dad mode, Bliss mode.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, bro, I can jump into Bliss mode whenever I want.
Right. And that's what separates a pro from an amateur. You know what I mean? You've been doing this for 12 years now, I want to say.
2013, I released my first like amateur little single. So 10 years.
It's only been 10 years?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
a long ass time, Nick.
I'm dead. No, but like thinking back on it, it's like, yeah, we did so much, but at the end of the day, it's just like, wow, that was just like, it's just funny because we're able to recall back those times that we lived in, and it's just, perspective is funny.
Yeah, time is funny. It's been a long time. Sometimes I question, like, have I worked hard enough in the last 10 years?
So tell me about that. If you were to answer that question right now, if you were in an interview, if you had to answer
it's
that
like
question,
in the moment, I thought I was working hard enough. But my perspective right now, 2023 Bliss, I know I could have done a lot more. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like, I don't regret anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I did as much as I thought I can do back then.
Right.
And as a younger person, I balanced my social life with my video gaming and my music. And you know what I'm saying? It's just that whatever I was going through at the time, it just seemed like I was doing everything I could.
But were you completely satisfied and happy and joyful and bliss, or were you kind of distraught and kind of going through things and allowing life to kind of beat you up, but you were still kind of good?
So the music, I feel, was always good. When it came time to releasing an album, I always got down to doing everything I needed to get done and release the album.
Right.
And keep this in mind, I didn't know what it took to like actually hustle and actually grow the music business. So me not knowing that information, I did as much as I could back then. Release music, tell my friends, tell people to share it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so
I don't
let me ask you
know.
another question. Where do you see yourself in 10 years from now? So we reflected on the 10 years you just spent. Now, where do you see yourself in another 10 years? Because now you're at a point of learning to where you just understand everything that's going on. You know, I mean, you're able to capitalize on any opportunity that's going on in your life.
So if I want the music to be a part of my life within the next 10 years in a serious way,
right, we'll say that.
It's going to depend on how much money I'm willing to invest into the music.
And do you feel like that's the only thing that's really going to get you to your 10-year mark of where you think you're going to be?
My 10-year mark, so when I'm 37 years old, man, that's
wow,
depressing as fuck. No, I'm just kidding.
I low-key can't wait to be about like 40, 45. Like, I low-key can't wait. I don't know why, man. I think that's going to be so cool.
Like, the way I make music and the way I kind of like go about things, my moral compass is like sometimes when I work with other artists, or like I'll bring them in to record them or whatever, it's kind of like, bruh, like, could we put some quality, could we put some thought into some of what you're doing?
I know,
like,
but now you have to fit in their shoes, and what if they think at the time what they're doing is top tier quality?
That's what I'm saying. So when I'm 37, if I'm just a studio engineer making music for other people, man, that's going to be just, I'm going to be in here with the artist, be like, bruh, we got a lot of work to do. Like, and they don't want to hear that. Like,
but for the most part, whenever you do see like a producer in a movie or a show or anything, they are typically like that.
Like the producer?
Yeah. Oh. It's like, hey, like we, you know what I mean? We got a lot of work to do. We got to make sure we improve this, or you know what I mean? Hey, I think we need to tweak this or tweak that.
Yeah, we're just stupid when we're young, to be honest with you. We just don't know a lot, and what we think we know, we know 1 to 10. And out of this 1 to 10, if we're doing a few things right, then we're just so badass.
Yeah.
But in reality, you haven't unlocked this other like 10 to 100, so you don't even know all these other little tiny little things that need to be done.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of things, you got a big head over the small things you accomplish, when there's just so much more to be doing.
But that's life. There's always going to be so much more. That's why they always say we run out of time. Like, you know what I mean? We have so much work to do in so little time that it's just like we need to live the life as fullest as we can while we have it.
So I think it comes down to who can adapt faster.
Adapt faster.
Because, like, I'm just trying to learn every step of the way. I'm trying to do things, new things. You know.
So let me ask you this: would that be the question of like talent and skill? Like you just have talent, like you just have that opportunity to kind of understand things faster.
So the talent would be being able to adapt. Not everybody can adapt to things as fast as another person.
Right.
So if you have that talent to be able to see, okay, this stuff doesn't really work, I'm gonna try this. If you're able to do that kind of trial and error, keep moving on to the next thing, then I feel like you'll make it further.
Imagine if you were
You know
able
what
to
I'm
put your kid in that situation on a regular basis. So whenever they're kind of their own adult, they're just killing the game in whatever perspective, lane that they need to be in.
I mean, they're gonna kill the game as much as they're able to kill it, as much as they're, as much as they can know in their own like little perspective in life.
But that's taught to them.
Yeah, but like Astrid, for example, or like my son.
She's so smart.
My son that's coming, you can't, like, how am I gonna teach them? How am I gonna teach them a game of the music industry that I'm still learning myself?
No, not like. I'm just talking about you're able to use all the skills that you've learned from music.
So that I've obtained already.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I could jumpstart my kid. You know what I mean? Not everybody has a father that's able to do that. Most people in life, they're a father, they're going to work, paying their bills, maybe trying to find some sort of business to bring in that second income. But at the end of the day, how many people do you got actually following a dream that might not have money? How many people are chasing something that is a risk that may or may not bring in a second income? People don't do that. It's insane. It's insane. They call that insanity.
Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome.
Yeah, so it's these people that try and try and try again that eventually they're gonna make it somewhere, right? I don't know where they're gonna make it.
Now, would that just matter on like the timing?
Hopefully I got a great attitude when it comes to a point where I reach that opportunity. Hopefully I got a most beautiful fucking attitude, because I might fuck up that opportunity by having a bitch ass attitude. You know what I'm saying? There could be a time when somebody from Interscope Records is trying to hit me up, but using his assistant hits me up on Instagram and I blow that motherfucker off. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, hopefully I carry myself through the hustle with a good attitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at the same time, you could be a hard worker, but if you're an asshole, it's not going to work out.
Totally.
All those opportunities are going to go.
So that's whenever you can't let things disrupt your energy, and you got to refine yourself into a spirit.
Just like this little story, check this out. Okay, so there was a storm, right? It was flooding. The flood was up to the roof. The guy that lived in this house ended up climbing on the roof, and he's there waiting for rescue. And he's praying to God, telling him, God, I need help. Send me help. Oh, yeah. And okay, here comes firefighters on a boat, and they tell him, hey, we're here, jump on the boat, we're gonna get out of here. And the guy tells him, he says, I'm waiting for God to help me, so I'll be fine, don't worry about me. There goes that fucking boat. Next, a fucking airplane comes, or a helicopter comes and tells the guy, hey, it's flooding, you're gonna drown, get up this ladder, let's get out of here. The guy was like, hey, I'm waiting, God's gonna help me, I'm gonna be just fine.
God's gonna save me.
Right? Basically, the dude ends up dying because he didn't want to take the opportunities that were brought to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that.
God, he's like, God, why
I'm just trying to like compare that to life. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like just
seizing the moment.
Walk with a good attitude and some common sense, because who knows? I don't know if I've turned down an opportunity before. I don't know.
Well, we're never gonna truly know. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. You know what? There might have been an opportunity I turned down, but I didn't feel like it was right for me. So at one of your fights, one of the main guys seen me recording, and he asked me if I did video stuff.
Right.
Because they need somebody to make their videos.
Right.
And I kind of told the guy, I'm like.
But there's also pathways to success, and there's also dead ends. So you kind of seen that as a dead end, more of like, you know what I mean?
Right, that didn't really fit my agenda of music and stuff, so I kind of didn't go about it. But on the other hand of things, maybe I could have done that as another side hustle to bring income in for the music.
But did that also give you perspective of being like, hey, like this guy knows, it looks like he knows what he's doing. Like, let's go ask him. You know what I mean? Right. So they seen you doing that, and they seen, previously the videos that you shot for me. And everybody that sees my fight video, they're always like, "Yo, this video is dope." Like, you know, it's always a great time. It's always an event to watch a video. You know,
That's
especially
because
something that's well put
Bliss
together.
only makes presentable shit.
Top
You know what I'm
quality, baby.
If it don't-
Underrated as fuck.
If it don't look good, then it's not gonna get put out. If it don't sound good, it's not gonna get put out.
Totally.
That's just my moral compass. I literally cannot put out an unfinished project. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. Feel that.
Is that too much to ask for? Sometimes, how come people be putting out unfinished projects? Is it the lack of know-how?
I think it's probably them running out of time and then them feeling pressured. So, you know, like there's a couple times where pressure's a big thing. So, you know, whenever there's been times where like you kind of felt that pressure and you're like, should I extend the date? Should I push it out now? What should I do? And then usually for the most part,
if it ain't feeling right, it's getting pushed.
but for now other people, yeah, no, like you're 100%. Brandon does that. So other people, what if they don't do that? What if they feel like the pressure is so much on them that they have to just release what they have? They have to just
And
put
you
out
know
what
what's
they
kind
have.
of sad? Like some major record label artists go through that pressure.
Yeah.
And the people are like, why did he release this album? It's trash. Well, he got pressured by the record label to release something so they can make money off the music.
So would you have to say that's outside energy affecting your inside energy?
That's a wall
to perform?
Getting in between you and your creativity. Sometimes your creativity is going to take you down.
But then we have to go back to the adapting. Like, are you able to adapt in that and then become the best person you're supposed to be for that moment? Or did you falter?
Well, if you're in a major record, if you're an artist in a major record label and you really don't have content, you shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Right, I agree.
So if you jump that gun and sign that paperwork, you better know what you're signing up for. If Bliss is signing up for a job that he knows he can't accomplish, you failed from the beginning. So if we're going to talk about that real quick, about an artist coming up short and releasing some bullshit, they knew from the beginning they were signing that paper to try to get a one-way ticket to being rich. They signed that paper knowing that they couldn't do it on their own. So it was their ticket. It was their free ticket, get out of jail free card. That's all it was.
Don't fight a battle you can't win.
I'll guarantee you this right now. If Bliss had an opportunity to get with a major record label, I'm going to make that major record label a lot of fucking money.
Right.
Because I'm coming at them. I'm going to make a lot of fucking money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to use them as a platform to bounce to the next big contract I can get.
Right.
You understand?
So kind of like an NFL player.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like, I don't know. Some people don't get that. Some people aren't ready. Some people just don't know what's up.
Yeah.
But I will say that right now on the record, Bliss gonna make you a lot of fucking money. And I know that sounds like a sales pitch, and if it does, well, fuck you. Don't contact me because I'm doing this shit independent up until I find the right opportunity. So that's how it is.
So what do you have to say to close out? Don't let nobody fuck with your energy. Don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing. Anything that you can see, you believe, you can envision, you could do.
Yeah, this pod, the value of this pod was in a few things. Go over that one more time, what you just said.
I was so in the moment.
Well, we had some good value to bring to both of us. So I'll let you say your piece right now, but this was my value that I had to bring to the pod today. It was, don't miss out on opportunities and carry yourself with a good attitude all the time. Those two things combined with a hustle, combined with having a standard for yourself, good quality. These are all just a good pieces to add to the formula of success. So.
Totally.
So that was the value I was able to bring today. What you brought? It was about the fighting and flipping the switch, remember?
The whole thing about me was just like, don't let anything, if you have something going on, don't let an outside source mess with your energy.
That's what it was, the energy.
Stay refined. You know what I mean? You can always better yourself and you can always be more formed. So if you have outside negative energy trying to come in and collapse what you have going on, brush it off. don't even let it affect you. You know why? Because you have bigger things going on, and that's a little thing.
Yeah, my bad. I got like, you know how we're just talking about it being able to
You got
adapt.
hot.
I wasn't able to adapt in the situation because I got sent down a road of like a rant about the fucking music and all this, and I totally lost track of what the fuck was going on.
Welcome to my life.
Don't be like Bliss and start creating a building over here when we're working on a building right here. But also, if you are gonna be a Bliss and start creating over here, make sure you got a Mighty Zay to let you know that hey, we gotta finish building this project.
Life is a highway. There's always gonna be little stops. I mean, get back in your highway and do what you gotta do.
I stop a lot and I build a lot of shit.
Yeah. You're a construction worker.
Bro, you look back at my road, all there is buildings.
Catacombs. Like
I'm dead. Love y'all. Peace.
Love y'all.